Got up in the morning, took a shot of Ciroc. And girl, you left my stomach in a knot. Took my lighter and you burned the bridge. Thought you was a writer, no, you're just an idol. You got me feeling like Big Sean in this 5, 4, 3, 2. I deserve a minute, wait a minute. Gotta get up and over, regain my composure. No longer my lover, finally finished and you did it. Girl, you really showed me. Think with your heart, don't think with your body. Clever. Sorry, not sorry. Sorry, not Justin Timberlake, write me a river. Lately, I be having conversations with myself, cause I feel like I have nobody to talk to. I be having conversations with myself, cause I feel like I have nobody to turn to. Everything was green light, now we got the red. Could've had somebody else choose it instead. I be having conversations with myself, cause I feel like I have nobody to talk to. You tried to convince me it was all in my head, and I felt like it's not you, it's me instead. I wanted to rock with you, roll with you. Said you was my baby girl, then you left me too. Everything was kosher, perfect like a poster. Then I got word that you wanna leave a picture. Off with somebody else, off with the jerk. With the shame on me, I really thought that it could work. Off with somebody else, off with the loser. Shame on me, I really thought we had a... Lately I be having conversations with myself, cause I feel like I have nobody.
Jason got any shades.
Check. And I want to say manners and respect. We out here without fear with the topics. You don't know the thing go I, China Wallen, alongside my good friend Alan Powell. What's up, man, Alan? Everything good? What, Jordan?
No, me bless. I realize everybody wear shades now. No, I realize everybody depend the shades thing right now. So me just watch it. You got me a laugh.
Wow,
Start
with the
off with a
shades?
smile. Yeah. I just watched Reese with his shades. I've been watching Aya these past couple of weeks. You know what I'm saying? And then now I see, everybody elevating to superstar
Man,
status.
it's just a coincidence.
Sometimes it happen like that. Sometimes it happens like that, man. How was your weekend, man?
Uh, it was real good, actually. Yeah, it was real good. You know what I mean? Like the weather is lovely. You know, I had 1 or 2 events. I had a day event and a night event to DJ for and all that stuff there. Everything was all good. Busy. Still not resting, but I'm here still.
Mm-hmm. So I saw some family on the weekend. Um, and I was humbled because it was females once again, and they were telling me, Alan, you're just able to see when we're watching the show. You know what I'm saying? So once again, the ladies supporting the show, watching the show. Um, wanna shout out everybody who takes their time and listens to us and gives their critique. It is much appreciated. You know what I'm saying? So I had that little experience in it. I mean, I'm really gonna talk about them there because you're supposed to have etiquette when you see people. They want to say they see you, however, then they go to that and then you go talk about it. But yeah, it was nice to see a little family and thing this weekend. So
Of course.
see Reese too. See Reese too.
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but
See Ira too. I made some fish soup. Might have some after the show, but I had some fish soup as well. But yeah, it was a kind of adventurous week. Had a lot of news items, come before me there. Um,
the
yeah,
comments them now come up in the middle.
I, I I was seeing some of them,
Oh,
but I don't know what's taking place.
oh, I see it now.
Okay. Um, to let everybody know, um, we have a show, and it's a looser style than the traditional show. Um, of course, it is important that we inform you, but a little personality is important, So we got to entertain you at the same time. So just understand and bear with us, and hopefully you get to like the format, and you could share the show and tell people about the show. And
Of
interact with
course.
us too. Let us know what's going on. Let us know how we could improve. Um, as I say, a number of different things happened recently. And one of the news stories what we're gonna get to, Jason.
Yeah.
This afternoon I was reading, I saw Brent Edwards charged in hit and run incident on Nevis.
Yeah.
Okay. And here's the story. Police arrested and charged Brent Edwards for the offense of failing to immediately stop at the scene of an accident, which is in connection with the July 15th hit and run incident on Nevis. The incident occurred in the area of Nerva around 7 a.m. 80-year-old Florence Ella Merchant of Zan was found seriously injured on the side of the road by a passerby as she was struck by a vehicle while walking on the side of the road. Miss Merchant was transported to the Alexandria Hospital where, upon examination, she was found to have sustained a broken arm, a broken hand, and numerous bruises. About 2 days after, on Monday, July 17th, she succumbed to her injuries. Resident pathologist Dr. Nautica Phillip concluded that death was due to decompensated cardiomyopathy from a road accident. Edwards, a police officer, was responsible for the incident. A police spokesperson told the Van Newsline that Edwards was also issued with a notice of intended prosecution for the offense of dangerous driving. He was charged at the Cotton Ground Police Station on July 17, 2023, and has since been remanded to prison while the investigation is in progress. Police have also asked for patience, restraint, and understanding as they investigate this incident. So, I mean, it has caused some agitation. You know what I'm saying? And even yesterday morning, I woke up and I see me there from moving and he had post because he said he not Ella from he's a child. And he had post wanting to know what was going on. So I just wanted to inform the public who does not know. Apparently, somebody has been charged. Chef, that is a very interesting question. They said that he's responsible. I'm unaware. They're still saying that the investigation is in progress, but it was just a little update to the situation. Um, Loretta, there would also be another thing for consideration whether or not he gets bail. I still wouldn't be against bail necessarily. I mean, I think there's precautions you can take, but you also have to look at the history of the situation. The seriousness of the situation, that gonna be for the judge to decide. But I just letting y'all know that they have charged. They don't have any picture. I noticed that the people who were arrested for offenses and them kind of thing, that you will see a picture. You're definitely gonna see a picture of them. But I don't see any picture of the officer. So Jason, you have any take on what's taking place?
I saw a picture of the officer,
Mm-hmm.
so I know who he is. A young dude, you know.
But but what I mean is, Jason, normally when they're doing this story about you, they gonna find a picture of Jason Wallen. Ain't gonna just be Jason Wallen as a story, just like us all. they're gonna put up the picture. They're gonna say well-known Nevis DJ. You understand what I'm saying? But right.
Sure. Well, it goes back to what I said the week before, right? You know what I mean? It's a police, so they're
Mm,
gonna deal with the situation there, you know what I mean, lightly and not too harsh because everything backfire upon the whole police academy, everybody. You check it out, the whole fraternity. So it's a situation where they look bad. So they try to just address the situation without any pictures or whatever. So the less content, the better.
but we're gonna get to addressing some situations and not addressing some situations later. We got to go over by the Van Samuel International Airport for a story shortly later. But we're gonna
Hmm.
get to that. Maybe you're establishing a pattern. I realize what you're doing. I just listen to your words. Um, next kind of small story. Next kind of small story. I want to hear your pan because there is a kind of hustling mentality to this.
Yeah.
I hearing. I saw Renzo Griffin, big up Renzo. I saw him make a post about the local taxis and how they're feeling about people doing Uber. And then I'm seeing this afternoon a story saying using a Class P license, which is the regular our vehicle, for reward or hire is breaking the laws of the Federation. And what make me say you got a hustling mentality is, if things kind of tight and you might watch Culture Armor, you might watch it as an opportunity to say, I could do a little Uber with a 2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah.
Job off some people, make a little money. But
Yeah.
from Renzo post and then what I see basically from the authorities, this got to be a situation going on where people look at this like, but I make ya. If gas gonna cost so much, it makes sense. Me make a little money on night time. What you think going on there? What you think about that?
It's just regular hustling, you know what I mean? Like everybody do what you got to do. Like certain things don't need to be Americanized, and even if you come down to that, you know what I mean? It's not even so harsh up here. But breaking the law because I could sign up right now and say I wanna do Uber. All I got to do is show them that me have a clean driving record and that's about it.
Um, some of these things is like the government got to look out and see that when this come in, this was a disruption to the taxis and them out here. So in the same way, it gonna be a disruption to the taxis and them and there. And they got to be prepared for people mentality because people got to find a way to survive.
But Alan, the taxi man to decide to do something creative too, That's all, because the thing about it. The he only come up upon us as drivers, regular drivers, because nobody else gonna do it. Because look for instance, how many taxi drivers you see does do any specific runs unless they're being contracted for during festive season? You understand me? During festive season, they still wait down by the taxi stand waiting for a tourist to come off the boat. You understand me? But when cultural time come, they not even say, yo, okay, this a cultural season. Let me start to charge like $10 this way, $10 that way. Easy. You check it out? No, they don't do that. You check it out? So, but guess what? The higher boss them would have been complaining too. Because the higher boss them don't normally do that. They'll take you
Yeah,
right by the complex. They'll take you right by the complex, but then not bash the higher boss them. Because
I just
the higher boss them gone half route, Remember the higher boss them gone half route?
it's not only half route. Them man gonna tell you after a certain hours, you after hours too.
Exactly. So
Yeah,
when I look at it, you know what I mean? So if I come in on my car and decide to pick up somebody here and charge them a money, I don't think that is breaking it unnecessarily because I could look at it both ways. Like for instance, everybody signing up to do Uber and all that stuff there. We understand the government want the tax. That's just the bottom line. The government just want the tax.
But my thing is, as long as there is a registration process, you don't collect. You're supposed to be a collect whatever registration fee, and you're gonna collect whatever VAT, and everything's supposed to be good to go from there. You know?
Exactly.
And and
So,
if this is the and if this is people who individually taking it upon themselves to do this without no structure, I just feel like it's gonna be hard for the government to really
it's like,
deal with this, enforce this in a
but
proper way.
but but what happened is that's not the problem. You know? The problem is what be happen. Everybody has start to do it and they want to control it. That's about it.
Definitely.
Cause if everybody decide to go downtown to sell jelly, then I say, boy, no boy, I be gotta do something, boy, who try get a eat off of this. What you mean? Everybody downtown a sell jelly. Just how we used to got vendors on the road. You know, you got some iconic vendors used to be on the road. Never used to be in trouble until you realize everybody start to put on stall next to one another. You know, that's how we started. You know your customer go downtown after the time you eat your dahlia. Where look now, dahlia got Gavin next to him. Where look now, Gavin got somebody else next to him. Where look now, is a whole corner. So then that even realize they make things bad. One person who was there so innocently doing the hustle, they should have spread it. Because guess what? You got people over at Cotton going out there do the thing. Nobody will trouble them. You get it out?
I feel
But the
I
minute,
feel
the minute, the minute they see a number of people that's somebody decide that they will start to do stuff. I same thing. Like for instance, so see that somebody say Airbnb. You check it out.
no,
The
me
minute
just
everybody start to get it,
me just been gonna tell you, I wanna say then soon start to charge people when their friend come and stay by them.
but but it's a lot of work they're gonna start to keep up with, because if they can't keep the hype and the camera for downtown for all kind of crime and something, you believe they're gonna keep hype on that with the Airbnb? So
No,
that mean they go start look at houses for rent too. If they're gonna look at Airbnb.
everything. As you say, once money spent, taxes got to be involved. Some kind of tax
Because
involved.
Because if they're gonna target Airbnb, remember Lepco and all these companies will build houses to and rent apartments. So all of them that they gotta start from.
When they're gonna be looking good. See we're raising even more revenue for the government.
Hmm. Yeah, but
Jason, have you seen the Culturama girls? We spoke about the Culturama girls last week.
no, we didn't know.
Have you
Yeah, I
seen the
saw a few of
Culturama?
them. I saw. No, we did talk about it. Yes, we
Mm-hmm.
did.
Okay.
Yes, and you talk about the Idella granddaughters.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I just want to make sure. I just feel like
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mr. Willett, if you are with us, if you could hear this, by you wanna deal with the airport first, or you wanna deal with the cars thing first? Cause people, I hear people are ask about the cars.
The airport.
Okay, sounds lovely indeed. So Mr. Willett, if you could play the clip, I think this is gonna describe for itself what happened. But the incident in question, I think, took place on the 6th of July, 2023. And this is Dr. Daly's show on point, I think, from that weekend. So, Ira, if you can, play the clip, please.
Right? Is the maintenance supervisor for the Vance Amy International Airport. He is a maintenance supervisor for the Vance Amy International Airport. Last week Thursday was the 6th of July, and there was a almost catastrophic accident at the Vance Amy International Airport, which outside of the airport workers community, not much other persons would have heard about it. There was some maintenance work being done at the airport, just west of the tarmac, I understand. And the gentleman of question wanted to cross the tarmac in a NASPA vehicle, a maintenance vehicle. Something he has done many times. And throughout the day, he would have asked permission from the tower to cross safely. And I can't understand why that position was not taken for the entire time. And so I am being informed that he attempted to cross the runway in a pickup while a 9-seater aircraft was landing. While a 9-seater passenger aircraft was landing. And what I'm being told is that the aircraft had to take evasive action to avoid collision with a maintenance vehicle on the airport.
Again, that does not sound right.
Um, I had to put it in the Tulu. That doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound right. It don't sound right to me. Jason, what's your take, man? First of all, did you know that this happened?
No.
This is the first time you're hearing that such an event happened at the Van Summer International Airport. You remember when you spoke earlier, I tell you, things does happen, and maybe, as you say, we just find a way for them not to end up nowhere. But tell me, what's your take on this?
Wow. Wow. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be honest. When I look at the situation, okay, he driving on the runway and he was granted permission.
No. Let me explain to you exactly what happened. And also, I want to say a couple things before we start.
Okay.
When this first happened, and when anything is first happened, I always tell myself, maybe, but I got to look into it. This happened for Chuchuchu. I
Mm-hmm.
want you to know this happened from guns. So don't. So when I'm telling you and I ask you, what happened is you have to normally seek permission if you're going on the runway at
Yes.
a moment in time. I think on this particular occasion, he did not seek permission. There was negligence. You understand? It take a in other words, it take a chance, Jason. You understand? This is what happened at the Van Samuel International Airport on July the 6th. And you never hear about it.
And he out there look sleepy too, Burly. Maybe he fast sleep and forget.
And Jason, as I tell you, because I was listening to this and I was like, how is it possible? Something like this happen at an international airport. Because I type in Van Samuel International now, and then me just type in news. just to see. You want to tell me that no news article, nobody, no newspaper cover this year? How is it possible? So we looking into this. We need some answers. Fortunately, as I saw today, the premier's press conference is on Monday, July the 31st. So I think it would be necessary for us to get some answers as to what is taking place.
He go say he know nothing about it. It wasn't brought to his attention and blah blah blah. But we go look into it. You know what I mean? And blah 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 blah.
Well, maybe it first needs to be brought to his attention tomorrow on the map. So hopefully, as I tell you, share this show. Let people find out. Listen, how you gonna find out about these things unless you watch the topics? So let people know again. Tell them about not the hospital, the airport, and what taking place over there. Because I just have questions. It, because when you come to like civil aviation, I think I would want to believe there are certain protocols. You got to make reports and all these type of things. Not to mention the liabilities that you could be facing, not only from the airline, but from the individual passengers, from the pilots. Ocean
Hey,
Reef.
hey, watch out. Point blank. He no fucking better. Fire him. He all enough.
Well, um,
But you go see he and CCM. You go see him there do it based on the picture what me see there. He do the nomination. So he not gonna lose out there no time soon.
well, the good thing is, after listening on the mark last week, the premier said, tough decisions need to be made, and he's ready to make them. So, I just feel like a question need to be asked, because these are people life. The man said a nine-seater airplane. I don't know how many persons were in the airplane. I don't know how many
What?
pilots was in there. The man
What
said,
Jetty
the
Taylor
man
say?
said, once it's not an accident, the individual should have his credentials pulled, but given us to be retrained. Lessons learned, report should follow. Okay. And Jetty, our, our simple thing right now is not a question of necessary any repercussions. I think all the time when the drone was taken from the man by Officer Carty, and the judge suggests there should be an investigation, and we never hear nothing. All what we have said is we would like these things to, we would like investigations to happen and be followed through. Um, and I don't feel like it's possible. It should not be possible for this to happen and not be in no kind of news. And all of the by the way, I was talking about investigative journalism. This is why I'm saying, man, all of your newspapers, all of your media outlets in Nevis right now, except for Dr. Daly. Look how I got to get Dr. Daly commendations 2 weeks in a row. Dr. Daly hitting me with facts. And if he hitting me with facts, I've got to give him respect for that. So Dr. Daly seems like he's the only one.
Somebody
And
tag Devon Cornelius.
Dr. Daly like he's the only one in slipping on this one. And I don't see how it's possible. Because Jason, he had a thing in America, President Nixon, who was impeached. When you look at why he get impeached, right, Jason? If he initial lie didn't come out, it might not, it would have been bad, but he might have been able to recover. But is not that you lie, you know. Sometimes it's that you cover up the lie. You check it out. You know,
Mm-hmm.
me just watch a lot. Me just watch a lot of loyalty tests. I like to watch the loyalty tests when you know the person that cheat and the person know, you know, and them a ask question. Them is like, listen, you could tell me, you know, and the fact that you tell them the lie in their face, man, everything gone, and you try to cover up the lie. No, that was so. Just need some answers. Nobody did, you know? Apparently, maybe somebody only, you know, they soil themselves, they soil their clothes, they need some laundry. But I feel like we need to know what is taking place. Really, yes, to that.
You don't want to talk about it. You can't mess up the parish of St. James.
Okay, no. Okay, no. Okay, no. Okay, no. Okay, no. Um, Mr. Willett, we have a number of clips from the premier of the country, my premier, my leader of the country. You could start with the first one, and by the first one, I would mean the one that has a length of 26 seconds. So, Ira, whenever you get a chance to play the one for 26 seconds. Um, these clips, first of all, I know that everything that the premier said is sense and is of weight. Some of them, at least two of them, are examples. There is something I would like to point out about the Premier because I think a lot of people that say he does speak well. I don't want to show what I mean when they say the Premier does speak
Because I am of the view that you elected me to go to work on your behalf, to try and solve problems that affect you, to seek to make your lives better, to grow the economy, create jobs, fight crime, enhance education, enhance infrastructure, enhance healthcare, and raise our people up. That is why I feel I was elected.
well.
That is what you feel?
There is nothing controversial about that statement there from the Premier. Eh? And by the way, this is not going to be a bash the Premier segment there. It's more of an assessment. Sometimes I just notice things. Um, by what the Premier said, that is how. Well, that is one option for the people of Nevis to view the Premier. And what I mean by that is, he himself said he believed that you elect him to improve the economy, to what he said, raise you up out of wherever, um, to bring jobs, to increase education. He is laying
Enhance.
he is laying the foundation. So I just want people to bear in mind that there is a criteria. And I doing this because I don't want to be saying it and you say, well, I never hear the Premier say so. You hear, I want you to hear for yourself that the Premier said that these are the things. So if you hear me talk, if you hear anybody talking about jobs or education or whatever, he said his job is what he believe you put it there for. That's from the Premier. And nothing that he says is wrong. I'm just saying is a criteria for you to judge his performance and the performance of his government. Um, Bobby, um, you have any reaction to that clip, Jason?
I embrace it. I like to
That's what
follow
me,
up, you know? Yeah.
yeah. That is the kind of thing now in life where somebody tell you something, you not got nothing else to do except watch to see what going on presently and kind of project well where you're headed.
Alan,
That's it.
Alan,
Hmm.
Alan,
Yeah,
it's like you tell me you love me, you know, but just show me you love me.
that's it. That's it. That
Yeah,
I just want to see how much. I just want to see how much.
yeah.
Mr.
That's
Willett,
all you do.
oh yeah, and we supposed to get a little big up to not even a big up is finally. Finally, I mean, we've been looking out for this thing for months, but the Concerned Citizens Movement has announced that their convention is going to be on the 13th of August 2023, just after Culturama. They're going to be in a festive mood for their convention. You know what I mean? It's going to be a lot of fireworks. I'm sure it's going to be well attended. I'm looking forward to see who retain their spot, who succeed in their attempts to take over, who succeed in their attempts to advance and other things of that nature. So, you know, it, I've been looking, I mean, in the same way how others ballot about, we was asking, where is the NRP convention? And they had this several months ago, so in CCM turn. And as I said, I'm looking forward to see who remains and who move up and who stay the same. Um, Mr. Willett, you could play the one that is 1 minute and 14 seconds. I think that is the second clip, sir.
Discourse on our political thinking, where it is not only about cussing, it is also about ideas. It's also about development. It is also about a tone in the country where people can share ideas. You know how good I feel when I'm in the parliament and from the opposition benches my colleagues can make suggestions and recommendations for bills to say we suggest this or we suggest that, and the government side listens because they don't have a monopoly on wisdom. They don't have a monopoly on ideas. Everybody in that parliament has something to offer. Because some happen to, at this point, be sitting on one side or the other, doesn't negate their capacity to offer their own ideas and suggestions and even solutions to the problems that we face. That is how we refine policy to make it better. And so, I'm not going to apologize. And when the lines open, the people can tell me whether or not the Premier and the Prime Minister having a working relationship is a good thing or a bad thing.
So, Jason, that's a good thing or a bad thing?
The Premier and the Prime Minister.
Yeah, having a working relationship.
It's so good.
Um, in my estimation, it is nothing wrong with that. And as I said, this is not a bashing thing. This is more, man. The premier just give me so much angles to work with and ask questions, right? And here was one of them what crossed me, man. When you think about the premier political platform, he came in and he was basically immediately the leader of the opposition, right? At least from about 2010, federally, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
his thing was, I come in to get rid of Dougie. You understand? And he contests everything every moment in time. He end up now he end up turn and Tim, and he thing end up being now I just get with the prime ministers. Okay? He speak about the tone and it's necessary for the tone to be good. And that also sound good. I love it, Jason. Except for some of the times how he does speak to Patricia Bartlett, uh, to Janice Daniel Hodge at moments in time. You understand what I'm saying? So it just become it's just very interesting for him to speak about the need for a proper tone and proper dialogue, and he feel good when he's on the opposition bench and he could make a suggestion and it is listened to. You understand what I'm saying? You see what I mean, Jason?
Hmm. Yeah, but you still been vexed when NRP youth paint the wall up Gingerland, and they only
They
been a do
didn't have
betterment for the community.
but they didn't have permission to do betterment. If you want to do better in the
It-
community, you need to ask for permission to do better in the
You need to
community.
ask permission.
Yeah, you don't just get up and do better in the community.
You don't get up and do better in the community. Ask permission, okay?
How you know what do better paint look like? You don't know the color of the better
Hmm.
paint. You need to ask for it. So
Blue.
as I said, I just find it because I do feel like it is important that the opposition. Well, first of all, I feel like it is important that there is an opposition, Mr. Premier. I think I would have called you a coward um, for your stance with regards to that. And I was really and truly supposed to amend the statement and add to that reckless and bad for democracy, in that you have things like the Integrity in Public Life Commission, which from my understanding, since there is no leader of the opposition right now, is only two people are going to the meeting, whoever the Governor General nominate as the chairperson and whoever CC nominate at the opposition. So them just going, I mean. So right now, when you got them type of situation, and then also from what I understand, the leader of the opposition supposed to be the head of the public accounts committee. So which is supposed to be able to check on the government to make sure that the government spending is supposed to be looking what it looking like and them type of things. Right now in Nevis, you don't have that. So as I say, it's not just that you're coward. You're bad for democracy as well. When you really check it out. Well, in my opinion.
In my opinion. Ask Poporila.
Um, you can play.
Jesus!
You can play the one for 27 seconds. We're supposed to get into the visa free Dominica story in one of these as well, and that's how come I'm saying, Mr. Premier, I know that they're gonna tell you that I was picking on you tonight, but nobody really care about you. It's just that you talk about a lot of different things on the show, and so you open up avenues for me. If you can take the fact that your name was called, then it's tough. But
Ladies and gentlemen, that there is quite a lot that has been happening globally. Today, we woke to the news that the UK government has now slapped visa requirements on the people of our sister Dominica. The Commonwealth of Dominica, hitherto their citizens were able to walk into England without a visa.
um, before we deal with the seriousness of the visa issue, I just want to point out that the Premier of Nevis just said that the people of Dominica used to be able to walk into England without a visa. You just walk into England. Dominica up on the border of England, no? A Wales? A Scotland or
But you know
something,
the
no?
man being. You know the man
No,
being.
no. No, when me a interview, me got to use this exact specific word in the right context. He better use the right one and then do. He said them walking. Um, the seriousness of the statement, what he just said, and the thing what alarm me, and I hearing it a lot from the premier, and he ain't slipping me. He said, I think that, oh no, he not say another one there. He says saying a later one, but I could still deal with it now. No, I don't want to deal with all that. Um, but let me inform you all about what's going to be taking place with this visa story. Following a swirl of unconfirmed rumors last week, the UK's Home Office confirmed in an announcement that it is imposing visa restrictions on travel to the UK for nationals of Dominica. Not going to deal with the rest. In her statement accompanying the announcement, the Home Secretary Suella Braverman said careful consideration of Dominica's operation of the Citizenship by Investment scheme has shown clear and evident abuse of the scheme, including the granting of citizenship to individuals known to pose a risk to the UK. In its explanatory memorandum laid before Parliament, the Home Office writes that the changes will take effect immediately except for a 4-week grace period for travelers who have already bought tickets. This is a departure from the Home Office's convention of implementing immigration rule changes no earlier than 21 days after tabling in Parliament. The government considers this departure from convention to be necessary and proportionate for the reasons of safeguarding the operation of the national immigration system. It is anticipated that providing the customary 21-day scrutiny period before implementing the visa regimes would trigger a substantial increase in nationals from these countries traveling to the UK before the visa regime comes into force. Let me see. Highlighted how Jamaica stalled the events by revoking a number of citizenships it had granted under its citizenship by investment to individuals who had previously been denied UK visas and failed to declare this on their applications. Okay. Um, the next one here might be. Oh yes, this next one. The UK plans to annul the visa-free agreement with St. Lucia in August and subsequently with Grenada in September. In a similar vein, Antigua and Barbuda, Grenada, St. Kitts and Nevis will face the same action in October, November, and December, respectively. I'm gonna stop right there for a little while. So just to let you know, for Nevis people, if you're trying to get to England, December is the cutoff point, according to this article from Write Ups 24. So if you're trying to get over there, December, the saying is your cutoff point. I'm just telling you
Hmm.
what it said.
Once a slave,
And
always a
Jason,
slave by.
Jason, you realize they said that the cause of why this is happening is abuse
Yeah,
of citizenship by investment. You realize that the squeeze up is happening because of citizenship by investment.
yeah.
There's a lot of focus by the European Union. Um, and I don't think that is accurate for them just to say is safety. That's one of the things, and I can't say no.
But
Go
but
ahead.
here the thing about it is, you understand me, is imagine we doing, imagine, okay, Canada already got it. You understand me? But imagine you doing that from England doing that to the Caribbean, and like we still we still bowing to the king and all these type of people.
Bye. You're gonna hear lyrics later. You're gonna hear lyrics later.
Like
I'm glad,
like
I'm glad you
like
mentioned that.
like imagine all of that happen, right? What happened? They don't take like from me grow up, from everybody grew up. You understand me? Everybody don't know the history. You check it out of the triangle trade and all that type of stuff. There, you check it out. They been attack from us all the time now. Now we get the opportunity now to go England and go as we feel like now because of some citizen by investment program. We making money from something and they call it abuse because they're not benefiting from it.
Well, listen, that how come I've been going to tell you. So what I'm saying with this citizenship by investment, which is something what we also need to look into. Basically, what I hear them saying is that, oh, whatever we're doing for due diligence and who we giving our passport to is one of the reasons. Cause what I really realize from what taking place is multiple different reasons.
Yeah.
Because by the way, Dr. Joe, when he talking to the premier, he always gonna have leverage not just in citizenship by investment. Because when you look at the EU, remember they also concerned about like the LLCs and that type of thing, and that ain't got nothing to do with sinkers. That's neat. So when the EU talk to the government representative for Sinkits and Nevis, when they talking to Sinkits about citizenship by investment, they also complain to Sinkits about Nevis and the financial services, and the fact that you can see certain information and certain analysis things go on. So it's not
But you
just
see,
one factor.
but you see what going on?
Mhm.
Barbados is a republic. I didn't mention Barbados.
No, I don't see anything about Barbados, but I have seen general things about this is what they're gonna be doing for other Caribbean islands. Let me continue. Really, really. Wow. Anyway, they say the step has come into effect as the first step of the launch of the Electronic Travel Authorization, known as the ETA, and is expected that in December 2023, the government would announce these countries under the ETA. So, um, for those of y'all who don't travel, um, it seems like what's happening right now is really they're gonna just change the lyrics on us. So rather than people saying they need to get visa, you're gonna need ETAs now. I feel like that's basically kind of where this thing going to be headed.
Yeah, so make up your
Um,
mind up pay you $200, $300.
and they said they're implementing it from December 2023. Um, as per the reports, the visa agreement with the Caribbean nations offering CBI will be sequentially suspended in phases. The visa-free travel agreements with other OACS and additional Caribbean nations are likely to be suspended in coming months.
Wow. Long live the
Um,
king.
a Miami-based news website asserted that the UK also plans to add these Caribbean countries into the ETA system by the end of 2023. The news organization reported that these nations will become part of the UK's modernized immigration framework with
Wow.
their incorporation into the ETA system. The step has come
The
into
Brits,
effect
yeah.
to strengthen national security and streamline procedures. Associated Times said that the UK government had adopted the strategy employed by Canada. Um, this is Canada got ETA system now. I think you be,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, because they announced that we on the ETA thing now.
yeah.
Okay.
But what happened is, remember, we wanted the visa at first, but now they just make it easier now. You just apply, and within 3 days' time, you get approved and that.
Okay. They say earlier in 2017, Canada also rescinded the visa-free waiver agreements with the countries that are part of the OACS in two distinct phases. In order to bolster national security, Canada took a significant step to improve its immigration framework, turning into a big success. It is mentioned that the UK is following the footsteps of the country with the implementation of its own ETA system. Um, Canada has implemented the first step in two waves. The first wave, Canada suspended visa-free travel for Antigua and Barbuda. In the second wave, Dominica, Grenada, St. Kitts and Nevis, and St. Lucia experienced suspension. Without explaining the reasons behind the suspension, it was expected that the decision was made to strengthen its immigration process. As per reports,
Bullshit.
Canada reintroduced visa-free travel to eligible travelers from 13 new countries on June 2023. These countries included um, Antigua and Barbuda, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, and others. Citizens who had previously held a Canadian visitor visa within the last 10 years or currently hold a valid United States non-immigrant visa may be eligible to apply for an ETA instead of a visa. That means, Jason, me qualify. That means I can make it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
now you got ETA for the US too, right?
I was not aware of that. Me only need
We'll
a
see you
visa.
next week.
It's possible. It's possible.
See
You
you
said the
next
weather
week.
good. The ETA was introduced by the UK on Tuesday, which requires people traveling to UK without a visa to require an electronic document. It allows individuals to enter and stay in the country for a specific period of time. To get an ETA, an individual typically needs to fill out an online application form with personal information such as the name, passport details, and reasons to travel. So I just want to say, based on what I'm reading, it doesn't seem like this thing gonna be doom and gloom in one sense.
It's a money thing,
Um, well, Jason, it kills certain people in a sense because the fact that you didn't need a visa to go to England, right, meant that you could have just get up and go to England, no. But
Yeah.
if them a say no, you need to have a US visa, then they add a different complication to the matter. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if the ETA gonna work in a similar way as how we used to work before, but that they had a little complication where I wasn't really anticipating. I wasn't watching. But the premier said he got faith in a doggy. He know doggy gonna get it done. He said doggy got a good team. And as I say, is not like it seemed like they're gonna put us back on, but it seemed like it gonna be after the implement the new system, and it also that gonna be the new twist with regards to the system, the ETA. But I hear that the ETA could last for 3 years,
Yeah.
so that kind of
Three,
yeah, that
three,
kind of
four
big.
years.
Yeah, that is kind of big. Um, Mr. Willett, if you could play the video, which is 48 seconds, please, that would be
We have
lovely.
had such a long history with the UK that I confess that I'm a bit surprised at the stance that it appears the UK is now taking in relation to immigration, in relation to our people who have in great measure built the United Kingdom. Whether it is the wealth that was created from our sugar plantations on the backs of our enslaved ancestors, or it is the people who went in the tens and hundreds of thousands to answer the call after World War II, the so-called Windrush generation, who went to rebuild old Mother England after the ravages of World War II. And so it seems now a little...
You hear him talk about Mother England? Is it if we as a neighbors is we think, is Mother England till I don't know? If we independent, is Mother England till I don't know? And hear the thing which is of confusion to me, Jason. He said, based on the long history between St. Kitts and Nevis and England, he is surprised about how them are treated, you know. No, from my recollection, I think St. Kitts was established in 1625 and Nevis might be 1628. If I'm wrong, I mean, listen, you don't even got to check. There's no possible way to find out if I'm right or wrong. Just trust me. No, that means we got 400 years of history with them people, yeah, Jason? You
Mm-hmm.
could point out any time in the history when it was not a relationship built upon exploitation of them exploiting us at all moments in time. People don't even realize when it come to um the only reason why England is not an empire right now is because World War II drained out all the money, you know, and America was on the rise. England could not afford to have the colonies. It didn't make sense. The only thing England been want to hold on at that moment in time, they just wanted to get a good relationship with India. It wasn't about the West Indies at that moment in time. Them man don't listen, them man don't move on to beat sugar for a while. You know? So all when I be down here deal with sugar cane, he wasn't ain't about that for England. And it just confusing to me that the premier gonna look at the long history. And listen, here we start off in the long history from slavery. And then he talk about how we build them back up in the ruinous generation. It's always exploitation from day one until the not. It gonna be exploitation between we and them. So he's supposed to be surprised, Jason.
No, he went Oxford.
Yes, yeah, you're right. He's well schooled. You check. I don't. I just would like to understand what about our relationship caused him to pause and say, "What? I'm surprised. I'm surprised England decided to do that to us." You know, after all of the slavery and I mean, but yeah, up to is
Al,
up to the other day the Windrush thing come back to bite them man in the ass, huh? And he's still surprised.
Alan, Al, what? I believe this Oxford. Oh. What am I gonna say? You want me to say? You shouldn't be surprised after 400 years.
Well, remember the government St. Kitts and Nevis, them man say after 40 years they still a cement the relationship with Taiwan, no? So them man it look like when you deal with government you do it long, you know?
But what me I say? You look at it after 400 years, you not try cut no ties at all with the power you have.
And make sure for those of y'all who's gonna be reporting this back to the premier, the only thing my may say is you can't be surprised, Miji, who you're talking to. Watch out. I will let the premier point to me a month. He not even got to find a year. Cause that gonna be too much. Find a month when England treat her be good. That's
But
it.
they left us with the constitution, and we still use it.
If I tell him find a day, he gonna say, well, look, Harry come down and buy Abby, and that only count as half day, cause he was out a day by 12 o'clock. So you can't find a day, not you. And that wasn't good treatment neither, cause the road and then get shut down. The only good treatment is every road where Harry drive pan get peeled. Me want Harry say you want to go Hamilton. I be want Harry say I want to see the estate where Alexander Hamilton, where his people come from. It's okay, so take me to Hamilton. What? Everywhere to Hamilton would appear. Well, it's a surprising man.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised that he's surprised. I'm surprised.
Um, Additionally too, right? When you look at how many articles there have been, and how the EU finding ways to attack the citizenship by investment program. One thing I would say, right? I don't wanna be smarter. Well, I could be smarter than the premier, but mainly I don't need to feel like I have more information than the premier. The premier is supposed to be well schooled and well versed in how other people. The premier was the minister of foreign affairs, and he telling me he ain't aware of the fact that other governments are trying to attack the citizenship, but he ain't aware. He was doing that job there last year, August. But no, when he get fired, March. He was doing that job there
March.
last year, February. Last year, February. So up to last year, between last year and now, you're telling me um, the premier was not aware. He forget what going on. That kind of statement there. There is no way you could justify the statement. And it is alarming, Mr. Premier. You have to know more. You will find out more what going on in the country. What going on in the country and what is affecting the country. Because listen, me hear Tulu these days and at least once a week, Tulu give me some geopolitics on. Surprise me. So, Mr. Premier, you gotta step up your game. I could give you some YouTube channels. So you could be a little more informed. Um, Ira, play the clip that is 30 seconds, please. That would be lovely. So, let's have this one.
They instructed their lawyers. We know who their lawyers are, the local lawyers, in terms of people like Smarty and Patrice. They're in RP, we know that. People like Cozy, well, Mrs. Cozy, I'm not sure where she is politically, but her husband, he used to be in the NRP cabinet until, of course, he was no more politically.
Jason, only one little question make about this. If if JD and Pat hire NRP lawyers, who what kind of lawyers Spencer and Mark hire? Am I to naturally assume that is the opposite? I just asking a question. I don't know.
He hired them at all, no?
Because I know he would have said he went to Daniel Brantley and Associates.
Exactly. So he hired them at all?
He did.
CCM Debbie.
Listen, this how that's the assumption.
Well, he had the assumption too, so everybody else could get their own one.
And this is why I'm just gonna say, Mr. Premier, I feel like you're playing a dangerous game with that one there. Whether I true or not, if if
Don't say
if
it.
listen, if you ain't got the balls right now, you can't even say Carlisle Powell. You got a nickname. You can't even say Carlisle Powell. It don't make no sense. He's not a call name type of guy. Leave that for the topics. You understand? Because when I be calling him, I'll be sure, sure. But in other scenario there, I just feel like, he and as I'm saying, I'm only saying so because Mr. Premier, remember everybody got me right, So the same question would be able to be asked. So just leave that one alone, man. You got more lyrics than that.
You know, here. And we rolling.
I remember it's 11 seconds. 11 seconds. It ain't long at all.
But I always think, because when Tom used to put in them petition cases against after election, and he come against them, and they got to pay court costs. I always say that if it's not the party supposed to pay those costs, because it's the party they represent and it's the party they run for. You understand?
Yes.
So I always think that, but the political party then come because the organization, and I was in a political party down here for a lot of years, and I used to pay my party dues. I used to contribute to the party, we get whatever the party raise funds. But I don't see the political party raising funds. I don't know if the CCM does that, but I don't see the political party raising funds much. Look how they used to do before. I remember the People's Action Movement used to get things every weekend upon. They got shows, they got happy hours and all those things, trying to raise funds for the party. You understand? I know the Labour Party one time used to get these things too. But I don't hear nothing, especially when the party in government. I don't know if the supporters,
Bye.
Yeah, but
I don't know how long me try find out where talk about party financing and party raising funds and all them things. Them miss of the lad. I just want to thank this gentleman for calling in on the mark. As I tell you, it's not really about the premier. It's just he made a lot of material. This was about what the gentleman said. Because that they raise a lot of things in my mind, Jason. Party raising funds. And you would have hear him say, he come from the time when he know that it does happen. And he even talk about how he know it does happen. Um, Happy hours and keep different session and them kind of thing there. What the thing now. Um, I've been critical of NRP and their fundraising efforts. Yeah. Um, I can't even be critical of the concerned citizen movement because I'm not aware. Just like what the gentleman said, I don't know how CCM raise funds. Me no know how it go. Um, when the man tell me that, Pam used to keep session or raise funds, it just make me wonder. You understand? About sessions were going on. If any fundraisers going on. Um, and if any parties need to just come to the fore. Because just as the gentleman says, I mean, ain't not one nobody gonna knock anybody for But and he especially said when a party in government, those are the things what confuse he. because we look at this thing and we talk about money is being spent to bring home persons, and I always wonder, where does the money come from? That can't just be party juice. And I know you're gonna get persons donating, but I feel like it would be very helpful for us if there was more transparency from parties, about what going on with their funding, could I get a better picture. Um, Maybe we could have support as well. 'Cause I'll be like, when things going on, and I'll be just say, well, just to let you know, this fishing chip or whatever, Zook always like
Mm-hmm.
cricket. You know what I'm saying? Domino competitions. So I would like to know. I mean, I've been told of two events right now which are fundraisers, but I can't touch it right now. I gotta get a little closer. But this is a little opportunity. Maybe we could hear more about party fundraisers and how parties actually make money. It would make the people feel good.
We never see this
No,
if do a fundraiser yet. They ever do one?
boy, I tell
Nothing.
you, it is one thing me like about child labor. The chairman, the chairman good at fundraising, but I don't know how. All I know is when election come, um, people gonna be down at Caribbean Cove. The package is gonna be ready. You know what I mean? No wasted money. You better believe you ain't getting a big poster and all anything there. But I would like to know. The gentleman bring it up. One of the reasons why I don't have a response from the premier is he never really been touched that. And it's also interesting when somebody bring up something, what part of a question is answered and what part is not answered. But I would like to, as I said, I would like to hear more about how exactly the party funds.
I guess they also they keep private events. When we do meetings.
And me not knock it.
No.
As I said, I would just like to hear more. It would be helpful. It would be informative. You know? We could go to the next one.
No.
Okay.
Right? The federal government has taken a decision that they will pay every 2 weeks. I'm not sure what the rationale for that decision is, but that's a matter for them. We have a monthly.
Again,
I'm sorry?
but the,
Okay. Couple things with that. Like. Hear what you say again. And
That's a matter for them.
the gentleman was asking about. I think the federal government wants to pay every 2 weeks now. So he wanted to
Mm-hmm.
know if they're gonna play to anybody from Nevis. He wanna know how him money gonna be looking, if he's gonna be a 14th and a 28 kind of guy too. What you hear from the premier again is federal government making that decision there. I don't know why. Um, just like I would have read the article from the persons all over media publications talking about Dominica and the reasons why the citizenship by investment has been taken off the table. Even though he don't know why after 400 years they would do this. He don't know why after being the Minister of Foreign Affairs. He not got no idea why they would. Shocking to him. He come back now and he does not have any idea why the federal government would do that. He talked to Dr. Joe. He don't need to. That never come up. Not even at a glance. Not even as a summary. He could tell you, well, These are some of the reasons I gathered. Um, I don't do so much of reading tonight that I ain't gonna do that tomorrow. But I find articles all over with Dr. Joe speak about reasons why they feel like it's gonna be a better system. As I'm telling you, I don't need the premier to know in detail. But Mr. Premier, you got to know so that when somebody asks you why Nevis ain't doing it, you could explain. Not just your simple thing of this is how we do it. Why should we change? That are always you think. Some may do it. So why should we change? You need to know what they are doing so that you can say, you know what? That won't work for them because of this. This working because of this. And you need to be a little more asking for you from you know, Mr. Premier. Just a little more. Just a little more. You can't have people ask you a question about what the Prime Minister in Antigua doing. Saint Lucia. You got to know what's going on over there. And you're the minister, the leader of the opposition as well. No, unacceptable. Totally unacceptable. Every time somebody asks you a question with the slightest piece of precision, you are unaware. And it's a small alarm. And these are the cracks, by the way, in the Premier. Because Mr. Premier, you never use some of these type of mistakes, you know? When you was young and handsome and never used to dribble, these kind of things will never happen to you. But all of a sudden, man, I'm just listening to you and it's, bro, you know, you you you, you like Kobe in the last season. Right now, the only thing you can give me, you hoping for a good last game, and you ain't even going to the playoff. Get some rest, like figure out something, man. But be a little sharper. Just a little more. Just a little bit. Harry, you may go on to the next one, sir.
Mr. Brantley.
Your last caller, you have
Yeah, I'm a very short.
1 minute.
What is your stance in nominating El Comedo Tenito Willett to be a national hero?
Okay. All right.
That's the question.
Okay, thank you very much. I think in relation to national heroes and nominations for national heroes, there is a process for that. There's I think a committee that has been put in place to consider, and so anybody who wants somebody to be nominated as a national hero has the ability to make that necessary submission and to support that submission. Mr. Willett is one individual who has made a tremendous contribution. He created history here, being the first Leeward Islander to make the West Indies team, and so certainly if those who make those decisions determine that he ought to be named a national hero, that certainly will have no opposition from me. It will be a matter for them. They're the ones charged with that decision. The banner struck up, it means
Wait, me not think you understand. Hold on, Alan. Let me ask you the question. What is your stance? Me not think you understand what thing. What is your stance?
Jason. And this now, this now I wanna be kind of instructive on this particular part. It's the last video we have. When people say that the Premier speaks well, that is an answer of what they mean. And when you hear Alan tell you that the Premier could literally talk you all day and not say anything, I needed y'all to see exactly what I mean. And that I'm not making up anything. He was asked a simple question. What is your stance, Mr. Premier? El Comedo will become a national hero. And He started to tell you about the procedures that you need to go through and all kind of things. And if it is done, I certainly won't be the one standing in his way. That are the best support he could come. The man who earlier spoke about the importance of setting the right tone so people feel like they could express their ideas. He loved when he's across on the opposition bench and the party in power, sure that they don't have a monopoly on information. And I just want you to understand clearly when I talk about political verbal diarrhea, this is what I'm telling you the premier just do. What is your stance? Well, if them do it, I won't stand in their way. His stance is he not gonna stand. His stance is he gonna slide.
Hmm?
His stance
None
is he gonna
whatsoever.
slide. Really? And I'm not sure if I played the other one, but he was asked a question with regards to the oh yeah. He was asked a question with regards to raising the minimum wage. And he was asked, what would your stance be if you spoke to Dr. Joe about that? You know what the premier answer was? His stance would be that there needs to be a public consultation with wider bodies. He's always gonna give the verbal diarrhea, all over. This is what he's going to do. Them there are the parts when you got to decide we really gonna continue to do this thing. The premier does not actually have an opinion for himself, it seems like. What do you think, Mr. Premier? Well, I think that I should consult some people. And when I read the report from the consultation, I will know what to think. You see, and then it seemed like he afraid to say something, and then, well, he could. I wonder if he even know he could say something, and then we come out and like we enlighten him, and he change his mind. He could just got his own idea, but I just want to highlight and let you see. There are moments in time. Those are the times when this, as I said, these are when people say he sounds good. That's when he sounds like a Queen Show contestant. He's in the interview segment.
This is why we need a lot of debates. That's why we need debates. You know what I mean? They go one on one with whoever, you know? Because when I start to realize the difference between common sense and verbal diarrhea, you're like, yo, Alfred, that. So my stance is it should have a debate amongst the other party. You know what I mean? Talking about different um concerns within the island or whatever.
By and this next part here is some support I have for the premier. This has to do with the cast. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Before I do with the cast, just one thing. So when the premier respond to certain things, it does make me think of people. It does make me think. Um, when I was listening to the animal, and we didn't speak about this last week, and you see, and as you could clearly see, I nearly forget about it this week. But they had some kind of breaking news, and people been said the premier tried to break up Labour, and I even feel like a choppiness. So in a team really make the show. However, the premier addressed it on the mark, and I didn't believe it's nothing. But I can tell you, the fact that the premier said that he don't know anything about it, and when he say he don't know nothing about it, he still say he don't know nothing about no meeting down in this hotel with this body. The premier had more details for somebody who no know nothing about something. It's like if you girl asks you if you know anything about going down a sing by Marriott, your answer is yo man know nothing, but nothing. Me with me been there. You can't say
Yeah,
you don't know
not
nothing about being down in a Marriott with Chanel 8 o'clock by the restaurant. No, no, you know you make the thing too hot. So as I say, my initial reaction, I don't believe. But Mr. Premier, when next time you're telling me not to believe something, don't tell me you believe with so much of details, man. I know you ain't had a lot of material last week. You had Calypso on the show, so but no, no, don't do me that.
that's crazy. Well, the premier had said he's he is a prime minister maker.
I'm telling you, he saying a lot of them things there. So as I say, what really is okay, you know what me I really wonder about the Premier? Cause I would give him respect for this too. He come in on the platform of he got against them. Now he seeming like he wanna say I work with them. I wanna know how his supporters who been supporting he from the get go will deal with the fact that he come in as you said the sheriff, but right now he like he wanna be the deputy. Them kind of ways there. Me not really know how that gonna work out. Yeah, you learn a new phrase, Lenny. So when you know when the premier engaging in his verbal diarrhea, you're gonna be able to identify it from now on. Listen, I've been really got to deal with the cast. We
Yeah,
don't
but
deal with all kind of things. We deal with the cast another time. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all were informed and illuminated this evening. You all learn about matters going on over by the airport, matters going on in Nevis. Next time we join your Culturama is going to be started. Hopefully, I could hear what's going on. And, you know, as always, I am not going to take the word of them who are keeping. I taking the word of those who are attending. So, people who are on the ground who may not as lame, talk to one of my partner, he left up here to go down to 49. So, I'll find out how 49 is going. Give you all some preliminary reports from the first weekend, hopefully.
yeah, man, for sure, for sure, for sure, for sure.
And now you say good night.
Yeah, I just
I know
want to
you
take
gotta
time out
go.
and say I just want to take time out and say good night to each and everybody. It was a wonderful show. And make sure have a stance on what you are about to say towards some when somebody asks you a question. When somebody asks you what's your opinion or what's your stance, make sure answer the correct question directly. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
English is a funny language. So good night, everybody. It's been the
Yeah.
topics.
Good night.
Fucking asshole.